Hey guys, Alex here, and today I have a pretty important video about autism and emotions and how we can feel them perfectly well. We just have trouble expressing them or knowing what they are. So if you're new here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video because I post important content every Monday, and I'm gonna bring back my hangout sessions on Thursday. So yeah, let's get into this. All right. So this article is by loudononautism.com, and it's written by Paul Loudon, who is actually on the spectrum. So that's pretty cool. So this is kind of an informational and a personal video, I guess. It says, I often get asked about people with autism and why we show emotion in a different way than people without autism. People with autism do have emotions just like everyone else, but we aren't affected by those emotions the same way, we don't express them the same, and we don't recall or remember them very well. We can be considered cold or dispassionate, even robot-like, without visible emotion. This is a big misconception. We do have strong emotions going on inside, but we don't know how to recognize them in ourselves, or how to express or explain them to others. Typical people express their emotion through subtle cues, like body language and tone of voice. Those of us on the autism spectrum don't pick up those cues very well. When someone is sending emotional data to those of us on the spectrum, and from their perspective it seems as if we're ignoring the data, it tells them that the situation is now important to us. The truth is, we don't even know we are sending that message. Emotional understanding and expression is a very cultural thing. Japan, for example, places the emphasis on not expressing emotions. Regardless of where someone is, if they are on the spectrum, they will undoubtedly have the same struggle within their culture. So just because someone on the spectrum may not seem to care, it is very likely that they do care. And they do not know how to express that they care, or they think they are expressing care, when indeed they are not expressing their emotions in the way that it is understandable to most people. Always try to remember, people with autism are still people, we just express ourselves in different ways. So that was a shorter article, and I'm going to actually read another one, which is from theconversation.com. So let's check that one out. So as I said, this is from The Conversation. So the title is People with Autism Don't Lack Emotions, but often have difficulty identifying them. So the same thing we were talking about. An unfortunate myth about ASD is that diagnosed individuals have no emotion, that they are somehow a bit like Spock from Star Trek. That's funny. That's relatable too. Analytical, logical, but not very emotional. Our research in the Autism Research Group at City University London, and that of many other labs across the world, shows that it is clearly not the case. Although individuals with ASD are often good at analytical problem solving and express, as well as the experience, their emotions. Though individuals with ASD are often very good at analytical problem solving and express as well as experience their emotions differently, it is not the case that they lack emotions altogether. In fact, a very large population of individuals with ASD, about half, suffer from symptoms of anxiety and depression that significantly compromise their quality of life. Unfortunately, very little is known about the underlying cases of these difficulties, or about how best to alleviate them. There are a number of factors that might contribute to high levels of anxiety in those with ASD. One of those factors seems to be the difficulty that many individuals with ASD experience in identifying and describing their own emotions, a phenomenon known as alexithmia. I probably pronounced that wrong. Ongoing research in our group, which will be presented for the first time later this year, this was 2014 by the way, at the International Meeting for Autism Research in Atlanta, suggests that symptoms of anxiety and alexithmia are closely related to ASD. The degree to which individuals report difficulties identifying their own emotions is also associated with the extent to which their reported feelings correspond to their physiological responses to emotional events. To give you an example, imagine you're confronted with a spider and you're asked to indicate how intense your emotional reaction is. Typically, your reported feeling would correspond to your body's automatic arousal response, which can be measured by monitoring how much your palm sweats. So, if your body prepares for immediate action by diverting blood to your muscles, releasing adrenaline into your blood and dilating your pupils, you will report feeling intensely scared of the spider. But if your body's response is more measured, you might instead report feeling mildly uncomfortable. In individuals who report difficulties identifying their own emotions, this association between subjective and objective measures of emotional responses is reduced or absent. In other words, they may sometimes report feeling strongly about something when their bodies are in a state of relative calm, and other times they may report feeling calm when in fact their body is in a state of high alert. And it seems to be this relative breakdown in people's awareness of their body state of arousal that plays an important role in symptoms of anxiety, both in people diagnosed with ASD as well as in the general population. Many questions still remain to be answered. For one, it is rather paradoxical that a breakdown in awareness of the body's state of arousal could lead to experiences of anxiety. Are individuals with high levels of alexithymia perhaps aware that they are feeling something, but are not certain about what it is, and this is what causes anxiety? Or could they be anxious because they often expect to feel an intense emotion that never fully materializes in their conscious awareness? Whatever the causal relations turn out to be, one thing is certain: emotions play a big role in the lives of people with autism, as much as many of them might welcome the ability of Spock to put feelings of anxiety aside. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and yeah, we can feel emotions just as much as anyone else. We just don't really know what they are. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you found this informational, because I post a lot of informational content. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. See ya.